All right, so here's the story on how I almost failed the Army PT test. So, when I was in the military in AIT, I went to basic training in Fort Jackson or Fort Knox, Kentucky, right? And I didn't really understand weather at that time, so I went to Fort Knox, Kentucky in October with shorts on. Not smart. After basic training, after I graduated basic training, was in December. And then I actually went to Fort Jackson, South Carolina. When I was in Fort Jackson, South Carolina, I went in as administrative specialist. That's 71 Lima. Basically, the most sham job that you can get. And if you were in the military, you understand what I'm talking about. But the big thing is, and at the time I was single, not married. So just give you some content. And then at the exact same time, at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, 90% of my class was female because it was all administrative. So I loved everything about my AIT experience. Okay, so now giving out of the experience, right? So just to share with you what was going on was in AIT, you have to, it stands for Advanced Individual Training, you actually have to take a PT test, okay? So at this PT test, and it's early in the morning, I'm about to study, so sorry, I got morning voice. So, okay, let's go back. So AIT, I'm at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Now, I just finished Fort Knox, Kentucky at basic training, and I was a little bit chubby when I went to basic training, but I got fit, especially with all the hills and everything else that you got to run. So at Fort Knox, Kentucky, when I went to basic, I actually went to the wrong basic training. They sent me to the wrong basic training because I was supposed to go to Fort Jackson, South Carolina. I'm just giving you the whole story, all right? So when I'm over at Fort Knox, wrong basic training, because it was all guy basic training. Okay, I went to basic training with tankers, and I was administrative. But the drill sergeant is like, well, he's not gonna. Drill Sergeant Douglas, never forget it. He had two eyes that were cross-eyed, and if you didn't, he would look like this, right? He would look like this, and then he'll say, well, what you looking at? I was like, I can't even look at your eye. So Anyway, you can't make this stuff up, but Drill Sergeant Douglas was a real person. You can look up on my profile. You'll see what I'm talking about. Actually, he wasn't even there for the pictures of the basic training. That's how gangster he was. But Drill Sergeant Hernandez was, and you'll see Drill Sergeant Hernandez if you look at my photos. All right, keep on moving forward. So I graduated Fort Knox, Kentucky, all-guy basic training. Then I go to Fort Jackson, South Carolina. When I go to Fort Jackson, South Carolina, again, I went to all-guy basic training. Now it's basically almost all-female basic training. So I know at the same time, Jesus was blessing me at that time. I was like, yes. So anyway, so I go over there, and now at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, okay, now bring it all back. At that time, we have to take PT tests, right? So Army PT test at that time was not the sissy stuff that you got right now, but whatever. It was just simple stuff. It was 2-mile run. It was how many push-ups can you do in 2 minutes? How many sit-ups can you do in 2 minutes in a 2-mile run? Here's one thing I learned about this workout, though. I never met anybody in my whole life that could do the Army PT test if you're in the Army and score a perfect score, 100, 100, 100, right? And not be in shape, ever. Like if you could do 100, if you could do max push-ups at that time, 70 push-ups, 70, I think it was like 67 or 70 sit-ups, and then run, basically a 6.5 mile pace, for 2 miles or 12-minute 2 mile. Dude, I never met anybody out of shape like that. That was high speed. Okay, so last PT test comes up. It's the last one of Fort Jackson, South Carolina, and I'm up, right? So we do it early in the morning. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning, and which is normal. I think it was like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. We had our PT test. You want to do it early, so I take the test. I do 100. No, I max out push-ups, max out sit-ups. I never had a problem with push-ups and sit-ups. The run, different ball game. Son did not want to run. I don't like running at all. So I max out push-ups, and I get like 80 push-ups. So I max it out 100 points. Then I max out sit-ups, 100 points. I forget, it was like 67 or whatever the score was. I just maxed it out. And I remember the test taker, the drill sergeant, telling me, man, you're going to get a perfect score. You're going to kill it on this run. He thinks that because I'm killing it on the push-ups and sit-ups. But in my mind, I already know I'm not doing good. I already know, because I had this thing that I would just throw up at the end of the run. Like I would just give it all I got and it still wasn't that great, but I would just throw up. Every single time I would give it all I got on the run, and I'll barely pass, and I'll throw up. But that's how I would do it. I would see the finish line. I was like, bump it. Let's just go. Right. So, I remember I got the 100 points, and my buddy who's Samoan, he's doing good too, but he always had a hard time with the run too. So every time we would run, I forget his name, he was Samoan, I would always ask him, I say, hey man, I got you. You're doing great, man. You're doing great. And, but I knew this was the last PT test. So if you fail this PT test, you actually have to redo AIT, at that time. Like you can't fail this PT test. It's the last one, right before we graduate. You cannot graduate without this PT test. So it's a big deal. So it's pitch black outside. And I know that drill sergeant was telling me, he's like, man, I know you're going to do really good. And he's saying that, but again, I already know I'm not going to do good. So what I do is I said, at the time, I was like, look, I'm going to be sneaky. This is back in the day. All right. So I was like 20 years old. This is 26 years ago story. All right. So, so this is what happens. We run the first lap. I'm in the first lane, right? It's 3 big laps. We got to do 3 big laps. No, I think it's 4 big laps, something like that. But you can't see in certain sections of this lap. So the first lap, I'm in the first group, because I'm thinking in my head, I was like, if I could make it in the first lap in the first group, this is what I'm going to do. So the first lap, I'm in the front row, and I'm running. And he sees me, and I see him. Like I see him, he sees me, and we both look at each other like we see each other, and I'm doing good. So I said, yeah, just look, I'm knocking it out. He's like, man, and I could hear him bragging. He's like, man, this guy's doing real good. I was like, I know he's doing real good, and he's gonna get the max score on the PT. It's because then you get a little patch. You get a patch. This is not the patch. This is my logo, but you get a patch that says like you're special or something, right? Yeah, I forget what it was. It was a cool patch, and I'm big into patches. Like I'm so big into patches. Look, when I wanted to recruit just for that patch. That was the gold. That's a gold with 3 sapphires. So anyway, let me go digress. Okay, so I'm running. Now the second lap, this is what I do. I said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to run fast, and I'm going to hide in the bushes. I never told anybody the story, but I don't think I'm going to get in trouble now. So, well, I told some family members, but now everybody's going to know. So this is what happens. I run real fast. I jump in the bushes. And I was like, okay, he's going to think I'm still in the front row, but he's going to think, well, he just didn't see me. So I jump in the bushes, and I let everybody do almost a whole lap. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to be fresh for a 3rd lap, because all I got to do is 3 laps. All right. So then I jump in the bushes. I can see everybody run. And all I knew was if I just stay in the front row or next to it or a little bit back, he's not going to know I didn't run the 2nd lap. So this is what happens. 3rd lap comes around. You can't make this up. 3rd lap comes around. And everybody's about to come up. I see that front row again. But then there's a gap. So there's the front row, there's a huge gap, and then there's the middle guys, and there's the back guys. And so I already know where I'm going to jump in. So the front row comes. I come right behind it. And now I could see now I'm running all relaxed. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm good. And I already know he didn't catch me. Nobody caught me. Nobody saw it because it's pitch black in this certain area of Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Nobody could see. And so, all right, so then is what happens. So I can see the finish line. Now I could see, it's far, but I can see the finish line. I got plenty of energy, plenty. I am more than good. So I'm going, but I already know if I keep it up, I'll get the max score. So it's still good bit away. It's still a good bit away, but I got it. So now Now I look behind me, and way on the other side, like me restarting again, like me redoing the second lap again, I can see my Samoan buddy. Man, this man's struggling. I was like, you got to be kidding me. He is struggling with it. Right? In my head, I already knew. I was like, he's not going to make it. He's not going to make it. I was like, God dang it. And I told this fool, I was like, you should have never ate all that spaghetti last night. And he ate so much last night. And I was like, man, what's he doing? Anyway, so I see him struggling. I run back. So I see where the finish line's at. And I was about to get my patch, even though I know I cheated. I know I cheated. It's like, and so I run back. So I run all the way back. Like I restarted the whole thing again. I grab his back, and I take my hand to his back, take his shirt, and I do like this. I crumple it. I put my fist in his middle of his back. I said, fuck. I said, you're not going to not pass this shit. Because now I'm back. Now I'm here. Now we have to, now, like, I don't got no damn choice. I said, son, get ready. He said, what you mean? I said, I'm gonna push the shit out of you. I am going to push you. So literally I grab him in the back. I'll never forget this, because I remember his back just jointed a little bit. So I did, I grabbed him in his back, I grabbed his shirt, I take it all the way up, and I just start running as fast as I could. I push him all the way in his back. I'm just pushing him. And now he's sprinting. Now we're both sprinting because we're about to fail. Both of us are about to fail. And I was like, we're going to sprint until we throw up. And he's like, what? I was like, we're going to fail if we don't, because I'm way in the back. Like now we're in the last row. Like I could hear the drill sergeant say, you better hurry up. And I was like, damn it. If I fail this man for this doggone Samoan mother. So anyway, so I grab him and I'm pushing the shit out. I'm pushing. And I'm sprinting. I'm pushing. I'm sprinting. And I can hear him. They say, you got 10 seconds. I was like, please, Jesus, just let me pass. And this is 10 seconds to pass. This ain't like, now I'm not in the front row. I ain't going to get the patch. So I'm running. No lie. They said 3, 2. We right over the finish line. 2 more seconds to go. And we both threw up. He was having convulsions. His legs were shaking, everything else. He was about to poop on himself. It was horrible on his side. My side, I'm about to throw up. I think I did throw up. He was throwing up real bad. Like he passed me. He gave me a big old hug. He's like, man, thank you so much. I was going to fail. I said, I know. I said, later on, I told him the truth. I said, man, I was cheating the whole time. And then I went back, and then God made me redo the whole thing. So now I wasn't cheating, but I was going to cheat. And anyway, so that's my story of how I almost failed the Army PT test. But I guess I saved a Samoan. Anyway, yeah, that's the whole story. Tell me what you think of that.